Greetings to everyone. Welcome back. So this is the last part of our electrochemistry that is about fuel cells. So what are these fuel cells first? So fuel cell is an electrochemical device that combines hydrogen and oxygen to produce electricity with water and heat as its byproduct. So actually a fuel, if you take, it reacts with oxygen to form oxidation products and electricity. So this is the main basic thing of fuel cell. Okay, so it undergoes oxidation to form oxidation product and then electricity. Okay. So oxidation of a fuel by oxidation oxygen. So electrical energy is obtained without combustion from oxygen and the fuel gas that can be oxidized, like hydrogen gas. So hence the fuel gas converts chemical energy of fuels directly into electricity. So it does not store any chemical energy. Whenever it is supplied, then it starts working. Okay, so it is instantaneous, like a magnetron. Okay? So the essential process in a fuel cell is fuel plus oxygen giving rise to oxidation products plus electricity. Right? So fuel plus oxygen giving rise to these. Right. In a fuel cell, one or both reactants are not permanently contained in the cell but are continuously supplied from the external source to the cell and the reaction products are continuously released. So it consists of electrolytic solution that is 25% KOH and two inert porous electrodes. So hydrogen and oxygen gases are bubbled through anode and cathode respectively. So hydrogen is bubbled through anode and oxygen is bubbled through cathode. Where the following reactions takes place. So at anode, what happens? Oxidation takes place. So 2H2 plus 4OH minus giving rise to 4H2O plus 4 electrons. So these electrons are taken up by the oxygen at the cathode with two water molecules to form 4 hydroxyl ions. Then the overall reaction is formation of, that is 2H2 plus O2 gives rise to 2H2. So it may be noticed that the only product that is discharged is water. So usually large numbers of these cells are stacked together in series to make a battery called as fuel cell battery or fuel battery. Actually, this battery gives around 1.23 volts. Okay. So you can now see the advantages of fuel cells. There is no emission of toxic gases takes place. So chemical wastes are in safe limits. So the reactants and products are environmentally friendly. Okay. High efficiency of conversion of chemical energy to electrical energy takes place. So it can be used as an excellent renewable energy resource. Then no noise pollution like generators. Then it has low maintenance and fuel transportation costs. Then unlike nuclear energy, fuel energy is economical and safe. Fuel cells are operable up to 200 degrees centigrade and so find applications in high temperature systems also. Then coming to its limitations, so the main limitation of fuel cell is high initial installation costs associated with electrode material and design costs. The large weight and volume of hydrogen gas fuel storage system. Then lack of infrastructure for distributions and marketing of hydrogen gas. The most alkaline fuel cell suffers from leakage of gases. The lifespan is not determined. So, coming to the applications of fuel cells. So, fuel cells are generally used in submarines or spacecrafts where the astronauts or they take this hydrogen oxygen fuel cell along with them so that they can prepare their own water with it. So this pure water which is coming out as an oxidation product is drinkable. Okay, so they drink this water. There is no need of taking water along with them. Just carry this hydrogen oxygen fuel cell with them. So this is the main application of this hydrogen oxygen fuel cell. Now, Coming to the types of fuel cells. Okay. So these fuel cells are of different types. Okay, not only hydrogen oxygen, but we have polymer exchange membrane fuel cell. So here, polymer exchange membrane fuel cell is has high power density and low operating temperature. That is from 60 to 80 degrees centigrade, or it is from 140 to 176 degree Fahrenheit. So the low operating temperature means that it does not take very long for the fuel to warm and begin generating electricity. So it is very fast. Okay. Then we have solid oxide fuel cell. So these fuel cells are suited for large scale stationary power generators that would provide electricity for factories or towns. So depending upon the usage, okay, there are different types of fuel cells. So this type of fuel cell operates at very high temperatures. So this high temperature makes reliability a problem because parts of the fuel cell can be broken down by after cycling on and off repeatedly. So solid oxide fuel cells are very stable and when in continuous use. Okay, so we have to go on using this solid oxide fuel cells. Okay. Then the high temperature also has an advantage, that is the steam produced by the fuel cell can be channeled into turbines to generate more electricity. So this process is called cogeneration of heat and power and it improves the overall efficiency of the system. So solid oxide fuel cells are also used. Then we have alkaline fuel cell. So this is one of the oldest design for fuel cells. Okay. So this is very susceptible to contamination. So it requires pure hydrogen and oxygen. So it is also very expensive. So this type of fuel cell is unlikely to be commercialized. Then we have molten carbonate fuel cell. So like solid oxide fuel cell, we have molten carbonate fuel cells. These are best suited for stationary power generators. So these can operate from 600 degrees Celsius. They can generate steam, so it can be used for more generation of steam power. Then they have lower operating temperature than solid oxide fuel cells, which means they don't need such exotic heating. So this makes the design a little less expensive. Okay. Then we have phosphoric acid fuel cell. So phosphoric acid fuel cell also has a potential in use for stationary power generation systems. So it operates at a higher temperature than polymer exchange membrane fuel cells. So it has longer warm-up time and this makes it unsuitable for cars using cars. Then we have direct methanol fuel cell. So methanol fuel cells are comparable to polymer exchange membrane fuel cell in regards to operating temperature, but not as efficient. Also, the direct methanol fuel cell requires large amount of platinum to act as a catalyst, which makes these fuel cells very expensive. So these are the different types of fuel cells. Okay, that is polymer exchange membrane fuel cell, then the solid oxide fuel cells, alkaline fuel cells, molten carbonate fuel cell, phosphoric acid fuel cell. Then we have direct methanol fuel cell. Okay, so all these are the different types of fuel cells which we have just discussed. Okay, so out of all these, we generally use hydrogen oxygen fuels. This is the PM fuel cell where hydrogen is inside it and we get water out of it and from here oxygen is bubbled inside. So air in, fuel in and then water out. And this is the electric current which is generated. So this is the PEM fuel cell, polymer exchange membrane fuel cell, which we were discussing just now. So here platinum catalyst is required. So all these are the different types of